Welcome to the Integration Station. I'm Naturally Ashley, your host, here to guide you down the rabbit hole into the world of psychoactive plants, frogs, and fungi. Hello and good morning, you beautiful souls. It's Ashley here, bringing you another episode of the Integration Station, and today we're going to do things a little bit differently. We've actually got a lot of new coming your way, but to start on today's episode being very unique is that we're going to get really deep into a practice that really helped me in my own life, and that is Kundalini yoga. So the first part of this episode is going to be me diving deep with you guys, giving you the basics of Kundalini yoga, and then I have an interview with Kelly Mason, a spiritual leader and healer in this space. So we'll be picking her brain a little bit, and then I'm actually going to walk you through and show you how to use this practice yourself. And remember, practice is the most important part. So stay tuned, let's have some fun together and get started.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
The views expressed by the individuals during this broadcast are their own opinions, and they may not be the same as those of their group or other organizations they may be involved with.
Good morning, you beautiful souls, and welcome back to the Integration Station. I'm here on the west coast of Oregon. Beautiful west coast by highway, scenic views. It has been incredible. Behind me we have the water element. I am standing on the earth element that is cemented together by living organisms. What lives in the soil, the mycelium, the cactus roots, it's all making this a sound structure to be on. That is our root chakra, our sacral, our emotion, that is all around us. That is the water element. Then we have some fire here. I've got my joint. This is that solar plexus, that willpower element. I have a bit of overcast today, so let me point you up to where the sun is, and you'll see we got the fire element as well. It's really just amazing here. You know, I've got the wind you can see in my hair. This is that air element. This is that heart chakra. Me talking, me expressing, me sharing and teaching about Kundalini yoga on this show today, that is the throat. What I'm doing here, opening up the third eye, this is that third eye chakra. You know, this is what happens when we get in the Kundalini rising flow. You know, and once we start in one chakra, we really do have to finish that journey and move the energy all the way up, or it can get stuck. You know, that Kundalini snake may bite us or poison us on the way if we don't allow ourselves to surrender to this experience. Then we have our crown chakra. This is the seventh chakra, and the crown chakra, this is how we get our downloads from the collective consciousness, how we tap into that Christ consciousness. It's also with the age that we're in right now, this Aquarian age, we're tapped into this 8th chakra, and that 8th chakra is the aura. And this is what we're going to be talking about when I bring on our guest, Kelly, who is a big expert in this space when it comes to Kundalini and associated therapies. So I'm going to touch on the basics here of Kundalini yoga, and then I'll be interviewing Kelly, and we'll go into a demonstration of what each pose looks like while I'm traveling this beautiful coast. Our root chakra is also responsible for our past lives. So anyone who's done past life regression or has done some serious dream work where they've had recollection, or some psychedelic therapy where they maybe remember past lives, this is that root chakra work. You know, it's all connected with the third eye, with the heart, with all of it. But it starts in that root, okay? The root is also our hierarchy of needs, that base level of that hierarchy. You know, stuff like survival, survival, needing food, needing shelter, needing water, like, you know, these basic things that we need, that we forget, you know, needing that sunlight. There are certain things that we need for survival, physical touch. And so this is all in that root chakra, and this is why it can get imbalanced, because some of you just heard some of these things and are like, whoa, that's missing. Well, if you've got an imbalance here, then those are the types of activities that are going to help fix it. You know, there'll also be a demonstration on some Kundalini yoga moves that you can do in this area, but, you know, daily practices in general are great for this. Another thing to consider here is if you're feeling pain, you know, in your knees, in your ankles, in your feet, maybe having a lot of foot problems, this could be on your seat, you know, that sciatic nerve that a lot of people are having difficulties with. That can be in the sacral, and that can be associated with the solar plexus as well. Because of weight gain and stuff in the belly. But also it very much is associated with that seat, that sit. So, you know, maybe you're sitting a lot in your job, driving or doing construction, things like that. You know, this can affect that area. What we want to do is also consider some exercises that can help with this. You'll see later on, you know, dietary needs that can help with this. There's a lot of red foods out there. Red, and I'm not talking about eating the rainbow like a pack of Skittles or like some red candy or liquor. Or M&Ms that are colored. I'm talking about, you know, real red foods like the apples, the beets. Beets would also be considered purple, but there's so much. Pomegranates. You know, these red foods are really going to help, as will some root chakra work, you know, tapping into, like, you know, what are some things of your own personal story that have kept you stuck? Why is there a disbalance, you know, an imbalance? So this is it on the root chakra for now. And we'll move on to the sacral when I get into a water element scene. All right, so now about the water element, which honestly I could do the air element while here too, because it's quite windy. I'm so high up. But the water element, this one has that Kundalini energy, that snake coiled at our spine literally starts rising. When we're allowing that energy to rise, feeling it, to free it, that's what we're supposed to be doing with the sacral chakra, this water element chakra. So look around, you know, Mama Nature does this perfectly. And the metaphor that I'd like to use here would be the mountain. We were just spending some time in Mount Shasta, and in that mountain, as Mama Nature, as that beautiful mountain energy starts melting that snow and letting it go, it still stands strong, it still stands firm. It doesn't matter. It lets go freely, understanding how abundant that water is. And sometimes when that water flows, it is fast and furious, and you need to get out of the way and you need to protect yourself. Other times that energy is medicinal and healing and flowing and able to give life and able to provide water, one of the things that we need for life. And so this is the lesson in the sacral chakra, is to let go and let it flow. You know, some things you really want to do here is eat some orange foods to nourish yourself in that way, to hydrate. Make sure that you are staying hydrated. That means 2 to 4 liters of water in a day. This is about emotional intelligence. I would really like to offer you guys a quiz here. It's not even my offering, but it's from a book I love written by Charmaine Shiraz. He also did a TED Talks on emotional intelligence. But he's got a quiz that I'm going to link for you guys, and it's all about mental saboteurs, but these are also the saboteurs that affect us and trigger us emotionally. So if you can get a hang of this, it's really going to start healing that sacral chakra. So the quiz, if you want to type it in, it's just called Mental Saboteurs Quiz, right in your Google search engine, and then you can start doing the mindset work to help with the sacral chakra. Some issues that you're going to find here would be a lack of emotional intelligence, would be that, you know, you're being triggered all the time. It would be that you're emotional all the time, you know, angry, trying to cover up the sadness, or sad, trying to cover up the anger. You know, it's a lot of this kind of stuff. So really starting to do this healing, you know, is really going to move the energy up into the next one, which when I get in that area, we'll dive right into that solar plexus. Ashley here. Gonna get into the third chakra now. This one is all about the element fire. And I'm starting a fire in a little cave here right now. I'm about to talk to you about this wonderful element. Well, it's all about the solar plexus, this area, representation of the sun behind me. But it's also about our fire, our purpose, our willpower to continue on this path, even though it's like the yin yang and we gotta ride that wave, you know. It's not all good in life. There are ups and downs, but in the darkness we can always find light, and in light there's always darkness. What's beautiful about this chakra is that, like a candle, you can light other candles really together, brighten such a big spot. Like one little light can spread out like a wildfire, take over entire provinces, states, forests that have been established and thriving for years and years and years. Fire is so powerful. This is our spirit. This is our life. This is, you know, the sun that brings life to so many things. Yes, we need our roots. Yes, we do need that that hydration, that release, that water and emotion, but we also need to embrace this spark, allow it to ignite, allow it to burn bright, allow yourself to burn bright. Some foods that you'll want for this chakra would be those yellow foods, also oils and nuts. They're really good for this chakra. Anybody who's having gut issues, I would recommend, you know, looking into dandelion and some of those other beautiful flowers like St. John's wort. That is a yellow flower as well, and that St. John's wort can help with mood disorders. But our gut and our mood are so intertwined, so these are some tools that will help with this area, help you with your core, the core of your being. So stay tuned for the end of this show, and we'll also get into some movement, some physical activity, because that's a lot of what this chakra is about movement, moving like that fire, letting that light spread. Love you guys. I found one of the windiest places I could to talk about the air element. So here it is. Woo, this is me. This is me, the air element. I'm born a Libra, an air sign, so this is one I understand. I understand it like an airbender. Like, our responsibility when we tap into that air element, our heart chakra, is to really embrace and enhance every other one of the elements before it. You know, when it comes to trees and grass and everything, is so powerful to move it. When it comes to fire, it can spark it, enhance it, send it roaring. When we talk about air, not the air, the water element. With the water element, it makes waves, tsunamis. We were just driving through the West Coast. There's tsunami warnings in so many of those spots. So this is just a really powerful enhancing of everything. That's what the air chakra does. It enhances, and that's what happens when we open our hearts to love. And you know, one thing my mentor taught me is that God will break our heart open over and over and over again to keep it open, so that it stays open. You know, that's the purpose of heartbreak, is to have it open and stay open. So keep that heart open, you guys. What will happen when this Kundalini energy rises and hits the heart is it will enhance everything for you. Every desire, every purpose, every passion you have inside, that spirit, it'll keep it going. Keep that fire burning. It'll allow you to wash away anything that you need to let go of. But that Kundalini may also get angry if you are blocking. If you're so scared of heartbreak that you're gonna resist and not allow it to come up. So it may start to poison you. It may bite. It may find weaknesses that were already there from early childhood that can get stored in some of those lower chakras. So it's really important, you guys. Let's open this heart up. Some foods that can help with this would be all of your dark leafy greens. So definitely make sure you're eating those. You want like those cruciferous vegetables that can just optimize every part of your body, every cell in your body. So let's get this going. I'll show you some heart opening exercises when we get to the end. Some things to consider when it comes to the Kundalini is that not everybody knows that it's happening. There is a such thing as sporadic Kundalini, and this is when it comes on to somebody who has never tapped into spirituality before, somebody who doesn't know what Kundalini is, and it just happens. This is one of the reasons why we know it's real, but for that person it can be shocking and scary. It can feel painful, it can be emotional, it can sometimes really harm a person, much like a bad trip with psychedelics, only it's sporadic. They didn't ingest anything. They didn't make the decision to have that happen. And that's another thing to consider with psychedelics, or while talking about psychedelics, is that Kundalini energy works really well with psychedelics. So if you are a psychonaut or using psychedelics therapeutically, Kundalini work, Kundalini yoga, chakra work in general can really help with the preparation and the integration of psychedelics. They can even, these tools and practices can even be helpful while having the experience. And thirdly, for somebody who is not using them, that is okay. Anybody who is really trying to better themselves can really benefit here from some kind of Kundalini practice. For myself, I started with Kundalini when I got sober in 2014. I tried many different types of yoga before that, but I couldn't ever meditate. I wasn't seeing the fitness results that I wanted. It just wasn't, it wasn't what I wanted or needed at the time. And then I found Kundalini yoga. It was a Journey Through the Chakras by Maya Fines, who ended up being my Kunda dance teacher later on in my journey. And, in that, she really goes into what each chakra means, how it's associated with the body. She goes into the mudras, that's the hand movements. She goes into the asanas, that is the yoga poses. She goes into the meditation, the breath work, everything. So I'm gonna leave you guys with that for now, and we'll just move on to our interview with Kelly Mason. Here we go.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
In February of 2022, the Victoria Cannabis Buyers Club and Ted Smith were fined $6.5 million. This for helping 8,500 patients with access to medical cannabis. In our interview with Ted, he spoke to us about how people can donate to help in an upcoming court challenge. And here is part of that interview. From what I've seen lately, I believe that you've got something that you're trying to do as far as fundraising to deal with this next court challenge.
For now, people can write checks directly to Jack Lloyd Law Corporation or send e-transfers to save the VCBC at gmail.com. I guess those are the two easiest ways for people to help right now.
What do you find at paceradio.net? People advocating cannabis education.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more. We've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
Cannabis edibles are an effective way to manage pain and other ailments, especially when you deal with your trusted partner, Legacy 420, in Tyendinaga Mohawk territory. You see, we lab test every product on site to ensure proper dosage every time, which is critical when consuming cannabis edibles. All Legacy 420 edibles are made by our classically trained baker and chocolatier, and we also have super tasty vegan options.
Our baker has been in the industry for 25 years. She's also a chocolatier. Everything from savory to sweet, your chocolate bars, brownies, butter tarts, you name it, we make it.
Talk to our knowledgeable Cannatex about our incredible variety available. Give your trusted partners a call. Legacy 420 out on your road.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
Hello, welcome back to the Integration Station. I'm naturally Ashley, your host, here with Kelly Mason, the Kundalini yoga master teacher woman, my partner in crime when it comes to like the lioness goddess hair.
For sure.
Like one day I just found out she's in LA. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna come down there. We're gonna have like one of those Bonnie and Clyde style moments.
I love it. Anytime.
Who's on a bike or something?
I've got one right here. I've got a really kick-ass, badass electric bike.
Nice. Be like the new age, like badass.
Check it out. Called the Rebel.
Fits well. Oh. So on this episode we were gonna dive in, like I really just wanted to, like, first of all, show this powerful integration practice that you've been incorporating in your life for how long now, Kelly? How long have you been?
20 years, at least, 20 years, yeah.
Yeah, 20 years, Kundalini yoga. This is like a psychedelic practice in itself. And you're using it in so many ways for like full body communication, full body healing, for connecting with spirits, your deceased loved ones, for connecting family members that are still living now, for so many purposes. And I just love to hear more about that. Whatever you're willing to share with us on this, quick time that we have. Like, wow, I just put the pressure on. Sorry.
Okay, awesome. I'm in. So it's been really, thank you, Ashley. First of all, I'm so happy to be here. It's always amazing to be with you. You're so inspiring. I love receiving your newsletters and just hearing from you on a regular basis. You're always uplifting and insightful. So, and I benefit every time. So it's an honor to be here. And hi everyone. And yes. So first of all, family work has been very prevalent these days. A lot of families needing help. So that's where I'm finding myself busiest. And what happens is I'll generally start with married couples. And the one partner will get on the table and we'll spend 30 minutes tuning in. The major chakras guide me the most. That's where I get all the pictures and all the messages. And then I understand where the childhood trauma has happened for that person and why they're not able to communicate their needs or why the relationship is off balance. So I will go into the first partner and then I do the second partner. And when I go into each person, when I say go into, really just traveling down that rabbit hole, back in time to either previous lives or childhood or, whatever that looks like. I will see exactly what's going on, and also with the different family members or even with people from past lives and where they're stuck karmically, where there's conditioning that's been brought in or old beliefs and patterns that have been brought in that are carrying these people into kind of a train wreck in terms of the family, the marriage. So a lot of times too, we'll speak to deceased, and bring in those souls, those spirits to understand what is going on. So it's always looking different. And what's fascinating actually is once we're finished the session, and this usually is, my sessions are 75 minutes. So I take the first 30 minutes with one partner, the next 30 minutes with the other partner. And it always goes over because, of course, I want to take my time with everybody. But then we're able to discuss after together with both partners. We take that extra 15 minutes to talk about, okay, so do you want to share what you experienced? And they can share with each other. And then we understand it's kind of a therapy session in a way of now really understanding what's going on. But what's fascinating is these, for the most part, the partners want to sit in and listen to their partner's healing session so they can hear everything. And so they end up going through this catharsis of healing as well. And you see them break down and crying and understanding, oh, that's where the missing link is. So it's really neat because, for the most part, folks have been dependent on therapeutic sessions, counselors, therapists, which is very helpful too. But with these types of sessions, we kind of get right to the nitty gritty. We get right to that core issue right away. And it's amazing how many people have come back to me and said, my marriage has changed. My life has changed. Everything's changed in that one session. So it's amazing for me just to be the witness and the facilitator of that.
Yeah. And feel your emotion and your passion. Explaining this work, it is so powerful. There's so many of those before us that talked about this, the divine masculine, the divine feminine, like really coming together. So doing this like couples work, that really is the alchemy. And I feel like, like one of the strongest energies you can get is like in a teenager, but to get it as an adult, it's when you're with that divine partner, in a healthy relationship. And there's always a reason why you're drawn to specific people to be doing this work, to be present in that. I understand that drive and that passion. It's beautiful. I think we need a lot more people doing this. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, I actually am offering a level 1 Reiki certification program, and I call it Reiki because not a lot of people are so familiar with the word prana or pranic healing, which I think is basically the same thing. Reiki just comes from the Asian background. Prana comes from the Indian language, Sanskrit. So they're just both meaning energy of life.
That breath, right? That life force.
The breath, the life force is what Reiki and prana both ultimately mean. So yeah, I'm offering that on June 10th, I think. If anybody here is in LA, we'll be in Venice at Hallow Ground on that day, and I can send you some details so you can post that. But we'll be able to get people on the table, and I'll go over, the different things that folks can do to get into this type of modality and serve this way.
Oh, that's so exciting. Can you talk a little bit more about the chakras in general, just for anybody who's not familiar? You know, what are the chakras? What is the Kundalini? You know, what is this magic?
For sure, definitely. And, you know, we really only know this from those predecessors that came before us, the yogis that studied for, you know, hundreds, thousands of years, actually, around chakra work and Kundalini energy. And so chakras are, and so because of these yogis that have time tested the truth of the chakra, they're energy portals located in specific parts of our body, mainly going up in alignment with the spine. So there's 7 of them. So we start at the root. Well, there's actually 8 now in the Aquarian age, according to Yogi Bhajan, who was one of the people that brought Kundalini yoga to the West. And so he says the 8th chakra is the aura. And the aura is so important because it really protects us, keeps us clean energetically, so we can vibrate with clarity. So the portals, these invisible kind of, they're called chakras because that means wheel in Sanskrit. So they're like these energetic wheels. If we can imagine the energy of a wheel, okay, there's momentum there, there's force when something's spinning. And so as we manifest on this physical plane, so this is ultimately what we're doing is with the partnership of the infinite or the creator, we are manifesting together to have this experience. The infinite power will bring us life. So that's the source of life. We, through our chakras, through our portals, manifest our entire world, including our physical bodies. So everything that shows up in this paradigm, and we're on Earth now at this time, we are creating in partnership. So we're creating it through these major and minor chakras. So we have thousands of minor chakras throughout our body. It's almost like, you know, we have our cellular level of creation, and then we have our energetic level. And so these major chakras bring out all the different aspects of who we are. So starting at the root, we have our connection, our community, our tribe, our grounding to planet Earth, our ability to feel wanted, connected. A lot of men, a lot of people get prostate cancer or anal cancer. A lot of people get sick in those areas because they have had problems, mainly in childhood, of feeling wanted. So that's a disconnect that eventually creates this off vibration in the cells in that area, and because those cells aren't vibrating at a healthy rate for so long, cancer develops. So then we have, the creative chakra, the second chakra, where we go from being grounded in our root to all of our contracts, all of the agreements that we've made in our lifetime. And so that takes place in the creative chakra. Then we go to the navel point, that's our power. So I'm just skimming over it because I know we don't have a ton of time, but we go to the navel, and that's where we have our power. So we know we're grounded. We have our contracts, we have our things that we need to do according to our karma, according to our role playing for each other, because we're all on this stage of life playing roles in this costume. So then we come into that, and then we come into our power at our navel, where we're able to execute and bring forth our presence. Then we come into the solar plexus, and that's our filter between the upper and the lower chakras. So in this area, if we're stuck, we often feel a pain. Sorry, my alarm keeps going off. We feel this pain in this area. So anyway, the solar plexus are extremely important because they are our trust in the world and trust in ourselves. Heart is the experience, giving and receiving love, experiencing, opening up to life, receiving life. throat is our guru. This is our word. So when we listen and we quiet the throat, we receive information, but we can also speak our word, and our word is a manifester. Our word is very powerful. So especially when the word is connected to the throat, is connected to the heart, then we can be extremely powerful with our manifestations. The third eye is our intuition, and the crown is the connection to the higher power and where our soul ultimately leaves through. So, and then we have our aura. And so those are the major chakras. And every day I do chakra cleansing. While I meditate, I do a 20-minute meditation every morning and every night before I go to sleep. So that's just the basic amount of work that I think is what we all should be doing to maintain alignment in the chakras. Now, when it comes to Kundalini, the Kundalini is this energy force. The Kunda means coil, and Lini is energy. So it's this coiled energy that starts in the sacrum at that root chakra, and that we can squeeze and visualize energetically raise throughout the spine. And that raises up and down, like the snake moves up and down. And that's why it's been compared to the snake, because when the snake is in its full power, it does this rhythmic force, like that type of movement. So this is our healthiest way to connect with the light, with spirit, through that connection and that feeling of using the energy up and down the actual spinal column. So it's separate. Kundalini is separate in a way, not, it's all connected, but it doesn't mean the same thing as the chakras.
Yeah, it sounds like, one's like the flow of energy itself, and the other one is the energy centers.
Exactly. You could have just said that in one sentence. I didn't have to go and say all that. It's like you said, it's all really is one, I wouldn't have been able to say that if I wasn't just present for everything else you just. Nice. I love it. You can really start to see, like, when you're painting that picture of what each of the chakras is, you can really start to see how this communication happens between the body, mind, and soul. And there's other ways where we can work with each of the chakras to allow this energy to move through it. There's the yoga, the breath work, the meditation, the food, the exercise, the yoga itself, all of these tools. What's kind of your method when it comes to this? Because I know you got like a 4-step method, but maybe in general, what can you walk through anybody through that's listening today? Yeah, for sure. First of all, it's important that we all realize what free will is. So, free will is most important on the inside, on what's happening within us. So as I walk you through, this is the first thing that I always keep in mind, is to remember to pay attention to the subtle forces within me, to keep coming back to that. So, in the morning I will generally go outside. I get outside and I walk or run, and then I meditate, and then I come back and I stretch, and I have my smoothie, and I just pay attention to the subtle force within me. And I'll do a Kundalini set, and I'll do some Kundalini meditation. So I do a lot because it keeps me coming back to the subtle body within me. So I think that's the most important thing, is that for us to realize that we have this playground that we live in, and that we should stay detached from. So meaning detached in the most loving way, because this is our gift, these moments, these present moments. And when we know what our gift is, that this is all a gift, and we can stay detached, meaning we're not so interested in having to achieve what we set out to do. That's hard to do, but we can get excited about doing it. We could still put in that effort, and we can go ahead and try. So, you know, it's really using the free will to remember the subtle energy and the power within me, because that's where my love comes from. That's where I go back into love. That's where my mind can maintain clarity, and where I can just be open to receiving, especially as the feminine divine that we're all needing to practice nowadays, is receiving the signals, the information, and the inner energy that I need to complete my tasks here on Earth, my soul contracts. So, does that help?
Yeah, I love the terminology that's like in your personal, like, Kelly Mason dictionary, because like, it is so beautiful. Anybody, like, go get a chance, like, if you get a chance, find the link to her website and go check it out. Like, her words are just like so positive. That soul contract, I think, you know, we all have that, and this is part of your work too, is helping people tap in to that purpose, that passion. So for anybody who's like at that level now, they know what their passion is. Maybe it's like the same as you, or something that is like what I do. Maybe it's their total own thing. Like, how did you own that? What advice do you have for anybody who's in that part of their journey now? How is this helpful for them? How can they use this Kundalini and chakra knowledge to their benefit, and also for the collective?
Right. Amazing questions. Okay, so first of all, you just want to make sure that you're stable in your practice. Even 2 or 3 days off practice can throw you into the rapids. You know, like, you're just going to get tossed around, and you get lost. So the main thing is to stay in the practice. The other thing is to just create the energy of excitement, and remember the totality of possibilities. There's this like expansion that you can use. Just think, okay, I've got all of these things that I'd love to do, but now I can gather up the totality of these possibilities. So this is how I think. And so this is how I'm able to manifest, you know, all the work that we did in Costa Rica with creating environmental legislation, and, you know, creating a solution for plastic waste, all of those things, the film that we made. Now, this next step is we're actually making a Hollywood feature film here with a Hollywood movie star. That's in development, and we're putting the company that I created into action. So I'm a single mother, okay? You know, I'm just here in this earthly plane, just like we all are, you and I are. But I use my imagination, my excitement, and my confidence to see. It's like I'm playing. It's like a game of boomerang. Like, I'm playing with the universe. I'm like, okay, how are we going to do? What are you going to give me on this? How are we going to do this? Like, let's throw it out there. Let's see what comes back. And it's with that curiosity and that innocence, that openness, that innocence that we have when we're infants. It's really returning back to that place of trying things like a child, you know, and that's why a lot of spiritual teachers talk about having that childlike mentality. That's really what they mean, is that, like, throw it out there, see what happens. Don't be attached to it. If it's meant to be, it'll happen. If it's not, but it does take a higher energetic rate or a higher vibration, and that's why we practice our yoga and our meditation and our free will. I'm excited. Tony Robbins, perfect example. That's what he does. That's his golden key, is he just gets really excited every day in his car when he's driving. He's like, yeah, that's going to be an amazing day. What's going to happen today? You know, and he writes his books, Unlimited Power. You know, he has these big conferences, and it's all built on his own free will of excitement.
Yeah, I love that, free will and excitement. Another one that comes to mind too, that's like so part of it, as a part of a trinity, would be the joy. I heard something just recently about that every single day you have to do something that makes you so happy. That way, when you're looking back at life, no matter what the difficult challenges of building a business or of getting yourself healthy or how shitty you feel, when you look back, you're like, oh, like I enjoyed this life. I had a good time, you know, good memories were being made. It's important to schedule those things in every single day. These practices that remind you of who you are, these things that bring you joy. I know you do a whole thing on self-care practice too, so, you know, get it in there.
For sure. And so, you know, just to continue with my my daily course of action, I'll generally work for 2 or 3 hours, 4 hours, you know, get all the admin work done or whatever creative work I need to do, or correspondence, and then I'll go out somewhere and I'll find another adventure. So I generally have 2 adventures a day. In the morning when I walk the beach or I go for a hike, and then in the afternoon I'll find another place to go, somewhere I haven't been. And I think a lot of the great spiritual teachers would do that. They would take their afternoon outings and just discover, and that's where you meet people, and you get more clues, and you create more expansion. Again, that word expansion and openness to ideas and to receive. So that's, I think it's, and like you said, with joy, anything that we do, this is the key to being a successful yogi, is to hopefully you're tuned into that level of joy within you. Just being alive is enough, honestly. Like, just being alive. Like, you have another day of life. How amazing.
Oh, thank you. So on this note, I'm curious, how can everybody reach you? How can they start implementing this stuff, or get a hold of you for next steps, or participate in anything that you've got going on right now?
Yeah, for sure. Thanks so much. I'm really not very active on Instagram, but I do check every now and then. My handle is Kulaparadise, Kula Paradise. If you send me a message there, then I will get notified. You can also reach out through my website at kulaparadise.com. And yes, and I have a YouTube channel, also Kulaparadise, where I think I have about 72 Kundalini meditations on there, guided meditations.
Awesome.
Lot. So you can do those every day they're not very long, between 7 and 15 minutes, I think. And just reach out through those. And I love doing remote sessions. They're just as powerful as in person, because I'm closing my eyes and I'm tuning in, so I don't even see you in terms of needing to be in person. So we can do the remote sessions no problem via FaceTime. Is usually how I do it. So yeah, that's it. It's easy.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm going to make it even easier by linking all of that below. And yeah, thank you so much for being here, Kelly. I really encourage everyone, get in touch with this woman. You're such a ray of sunshine. Honestly, the work that you're doing is so powerful, and it complements the work that we're doing with the psychedelics, and as an integration tool. It's been Kundalini yoga that really changed me at a cellular level. The mushrooms, the medicines, it's great, but this is the work. It's the psychedelics bring you so far. They show you what work is yours to do, but this is the actual work.
Absolutely. And that's great. I have been clean for 4 years. I used to enjoy cannabis, but I don't do anything anymore. It always is great to have these tools like what you're working with Ashley, with your clients, and knowing how to navigate that and to take them to the next step. But definitely as you get to this focus of Kundalini, it is a shift that happens on a cellular level because it's scientifically proven. Like, this is a yoga that is actually made for this time. So again, there's the book, that's the teacher training book. In that book, Yogi Bhajan wrote about 30 years ago, he says, in this age, we're going to be dealing with viruses and mental illness. And he said, everyone is going to have a device in their hands so that the information is shared, and it's going to be, everything will be transparent, but it'll be very difficult to maintain the peace of mind and the joy unless we have these types of practices that we can use to continue to tune up the mind, body, soul connection. So we're very lucky. I mean, the universe always provides exactly what we need. So I encourage everyone to begin practicing Kundalini yoga and to get with the opportunities of this age, to manage this age really well, and to help others too, to help your friends and family.
Thank you so much, Kelly.
Thank you, Ashley. Thanks, everyone. Please reach out. I'd love to hear from you.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
When you have a pain that's reached its peak, Legacy for 20, it's so unique. If organic cannabis is what you seek, here's your trusted partner 7 days a week. Suppository salves, vapes and drops, topicals, edibles, infused pop. Just when life seems like it ain't easy, at Legacy 420, enjoy a pop freezy. Lab tested products, make them the GOAT. Legacy 420 out on your road. Legacy 420 in Tyndonega Mohawk territory. Indigenous organic cannabis at its finest.
Let's share Pace everywhere. That way it can help create peace. People everywhere advocating cannabis education.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more, we've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
Did you know that the Pace Radio Network isn't just a radio network? That's right, because most, but not all of our programming is now done via video and is then podcasted at paceradio.net. So if you want to watch our programming, you'll find us on the Pace Radio Network's Facebook page, plus the show's own page, and you'll find us live on the network's YouTube channel. And don't forget, you can find it all, video and audio, at paceradio.net.
Pace Radio is the People Advocating Cannabis Education Radio Network.
We are people advocating cannabis education here at paceradio.net.
So let me tell you now about the higher chakras. We've talked about the elemental chakras, you know, the root, the sacral, the solar plexus, the heart. But now we got to get into the higher ones, the ether elements. This is your throat chakra, your third eye, and your crown, also the 8th chakra, your aura. As I climb these stairs, I'll talk to you a little bit about the higher chakras, because each one is like a step. Each one is that Kundalini energy unraveling and going upwards. So here we go. The throat chakra, this one is your expression, your communication, your expression, maybe through art or music, singing. Singing is a great way to open up this chakra. Some foods you'll want to focus on here would be like blueberries. You can wear the color blue, you can decorate or paint with the color blue, and it will help open up the chakra. The guy from Spirit Science, Jordan, he uses his character as a blue patch guy, patch man, as his form of expression. Got some more steps here to climb. Right, coming into that third eye. This is the indigo color. The third eye, this is where we tap into that natural form of DMT. This is where we do our dream work. This is where we visualize the world that we want to live in. Visualize the person we want to be. Tap into that highest potential. Alright, and next we have the crown. The crown chakra, this is the color indigo. The crown is where we get our downloads from. Our downloads from the collective consciousness, from the Christ consciousness, Buddha, or the God, whoever it is that you're talking to. Maybe it's the angels of those who passed on. Maybe it's through dream work. Maybe it's through spirits or spirit walking. There are tons of ways to tap in here. That's what it's all about. The next chakra, the 8th chakra, that would be our auric field. This is how we learn to protect ourselves, how we learn to be that light energy, how we learn more about frequency and get to tap into that. It's a lot of fun stuff, you guys. When you're working with these higher chakras, you want to be eating blues and purples. You want to be really expressing yourself, taking in the downloads, but also transmuting it. You can take all that energy you've built in the first 4 chakras and channel it into these amazing ways of being and living life. Alright, you guys? Ciao for now. Welcome here, you beautiful souls. I am going to do a 20-25 minute dance, kunda, dance, yoga, video demonstration, tutorial, whatever you want to call it. This way, we can all do some healing together. I feel that's like a really important component to any kind of healing work, is that community aspect. We were talking yesterday about whose birthdays we share with celebrities, and the celebrity I share my birthday with is John Lennon, and his eldest son, Julian Lennon, actually hosts global meditation, something I used to, join in on, just for that collective healing, to come together with other people who are like-minded, who are doing the work, I guess, who care enough about what they're giving out. That I feel that there's so many people where, and times even in my own life where, I'll be walking around and not be present in the moment, not really be conscious of what I'm giving, or what I'm letting out, what I'm expressing. And so Kundalini is one of those practices that really allows us that. It allows us to connect to ourselves, to the outward collective consciousness. What Kundalini is, it's really just this energy, and we are full of it. That's what we're made out of. So to start this practice, let's just like move it, guys. Like just start moving like a form of Qigong. Move it. Like what our grandparents used to say to us, move it or lose it. So let's get it. Let's embrace it. Let's like fill up with it and be able to give the best parts of it out. Shake anything that doesn't need to be there, let it go. Anything that feels good, allow it to flow. Right. Now, I might need your help, you guys. This is gonna be airing on our radio show on Sunday, so I'll need your guys' help to make sure that I hit the 20-25 minute mark on here. We're gonna try to keep it brief, that way you can take this home with you. Let's bring it to the floor. And for our root chakra, let's just start moving in and out with our bellies. Put your chest out, your heart to the sky. Really feel that and breathe in. And then to exhale, want to blow all your air out. Pull your stomach in, tighten that core. If you can do a root lock. Pull up on your all your sex organs and your butt, you know, that root, and just lock it in real tight. And we'll do that a few times, okay? So heart raised, out, and root lock up. Tighten that core. Do some circles here, and as we're doing the circles, we want to imagine that energy moving up from that root lock area. We want to feel that come up, and we want to feel ourselves connect with everything that's going in a circular motion. Every cell, every atom, the planet as a whole. You can think about water spinning. You can think about anything that goes in that circular motion. And we'll get the other side, because in yoga, what we do on one side, we must keep consistent and do with the other side. It's all about balance. That feels so good. You guys can even get your head into it. Oh, it's all about fun, you guys. Now, let's move that body, or that energy, up our body a little bit more. You know, that's our root chakra we were just working on. Now let's bring it in to that sacral chakra, and this is where our emotions are. This is where a lot of our early childhood memories are. This is where a lot of people are having gut health issues and addiction issues and mental health issues. A lot of it comes from the gut. That's where our happy serotonin chemicals are made. That's where like 98-99% of the happiness comes from. It's in this gut, but it's also where addiction comes from. This is also where gut imbalance comes from. This is also where, you know, a lot of people are holding extra weight. You know what? This is also our creative center. This is our womb. If you're a woman, this is your creation spot. No matter whether you're man or woman or whatever you want to identify as, this is that center of creation, and it's also where our emotions are created. So let's continue to move that energy up. We can give that nice little roll, but what I mainly want you to do now is bring your fingers into what's called Gara Mudra, and it's just like this, you know, that Buddha pose. You can lay them down on your lap, get comfortable, take a deep breath here, and we're going to start swaying side to side, and with each sway I want you to breathe in and breathe out, one side in, one side out. Just stay consistent. And I want you to bring your hands up higher and higher as feels comfortable, and this is really going to move that energy up. You can bring those hands up above your head. You might feel some cracking, some releasing. Just allow it. It feels so good. Keep going, you guys. Back and forth. Each breath, stay consistent with that breath. It's our life force energy. All right, and then stop. Reach up as high as you can. Gather up all that energy at the top. Bring it all in like this, but above your head. Bring in all that energy, all that confidence. You know, whatever good emotions, the joy, the chill, the awesome, the all that you are. Bring it all in and bring it into your heart. Okay? Bring it all in. Bring it in, you beautiful souls. This is so important. Right. Now let's come into cat-cow pose. Oh, well, this is not very flattering from this angle. Okay, so it's called cat-cow pose, and I've kind of got it going on with this outfit here. Maybe I'm the psychedelic cow. Okay. So cat-cow pose, you want to tilt your head up, chin as high as you can get it. You want your butt up in the air, and you want a curvature on your back here. You want that to really feel the stretch, okay? And you guys can have a little fun in this. Like, come into it, roll around, get that energy moving. All right, so you do the cow pose and then the cat pose. And the cat pose is when you put your third eye towards the ground and you lift your stomach up like a cat at Halloween when they're like, or when they're like really scared and they're that's what we're doing. Cat cow. So you just do move between one and the other a little bit here. You can roll around, as I mentioned before. Have a little fun with it. You can come down, place your third eye on the mat, reach as high as you can or as far. Feel those stretches, your breath. Now I want you to just feel that stomach of yours. Feel that womb or your ovaries. Feel your organs, your liver, your stomach. Feel into that. Feel your power. You know, this is the seat of creation in here. And when this space is flowing freely, this is when you are going to create and have that passion, that purpose, and be able to have that emotional intelligence to get through your day. Bring it up into your solar plexus here. This is your third chakra. This is that sun. This is that light. You know, this is your willpower right in here. That sometimes our willpower, you know, much like a battery, can run out throughout the day. If we're using a lot of willpower just to get up and stop hitting that alarm button, every single time you hit the alarm button, it's taken some willpower every single time that you like push through something. That takes some willpower. Every time you're denying, it's like it's always draining that energy. So what we want to do is be like the Energizer Bunny and be able to replenish that. A great way to do that is by surrounding yourself with the people and that make you happy, doing activities every single day that brings you happiness and joy, because at the end of your life, the only person you have to answer to is you. And wouldn't you rather, do something fun every single day and look back on life and be like, I had fun? Or would you rather be miserable, always like, reaching that next goal, go, and then look back on life and be like, oh man, there's some things that I would have done differently. That, it's all right to learn from our lessons, but there's something powerful about every single day doing something that you love. And that is where this comes in, to keep that energy or that battery of energy full in our solar plexus. We want to be feeding it with that which lights us up, that which is our passion, and so one of the activities we can do for this would be some of these. These are called pelvic raises. That's what we're going to do. We're going to lift up, keep our hands right here, align with your breath, drop it down. This is moving the energy up. Every thrust, you're moving the energy up into that solar plexus. Another one that we can do is put our arm down and just reach over a big stretch. Oh yeah. Bring it all the way back. Open up. Again, you want to have fun with it. Like thread the needle, you guys. Woo. Alright, and the other side. Big stretch. Oh, bring it back. It's okay if your leg goes up, but keep your butt seated. Okay, keep that root. If your legs want to do all flippy floppy, that's fine. But for that big stretch, keep your butt going. Going on the ground. I'm just going to have fun with it here for a minute. You can open up. And this brings us to that heart chakra. The fourth elemental chakra. Our heart. This is one of the things that psychedelics are so great for, is like that heart opening, that release. One thing my mentor always taught me is that God breaks our heart open over and over and over again so that we can keep it open. So we don't need heartbreak in order to have an open heart, but don't you think if we had an open heart, maybe there would be less of the heartbreak, but somehow we got things a little mixed up. So let's do some of that healing work for ourselves and then ripple that out to the collective, So bring it in, like bring your hands to your heart, just feel that heart. Find one thing that you can be grateful for right now. That memory, that feeling, bring it into your heart here. Breathe into it. Allow that good feeling to move through your whole body. You guys to take your hands like this, and this is one of my favorite. It's just a little seesaw motion, but you want to bring your hands to where your heart center is. Just seesaw back and forth. Try to align your breath here. Try to keep your hands, this part that's locked at that one area, but move the rest of the parts. Move your elbows. Move your head if you want. Have fun with it. It's very relaxing. This, I find, brings a lot of inner peace. this rocking is just very comforting. You know, for anybody who's felt abandoned before, for anybody who's felt heartbreak before, this can be really comforting and bringing back into balance. A couple more breaths here. Another one I like to do for the heart, roll my fists around like this. This is going to stimulate the energy. Oh yeah, bringing it all in. Ooh, and have fun with it. And if you're like, you know, feeling a lot of energy, go as fast as you can. If you're just like feeling soft and slow, then just go soft and slow. Like, feel into it. Feel into what you are. Play with it. Allow yourself to play and have fun. The best practice is the one that you're going to do, and you're going to do what is fun, right? You know? All right. Now let's bring the energy up into our throat now. Into this throat chakra. Right here. First, guys, just lift your chin up. Up. Roll your shoulders back. If you put your hands, your fingers like this, and your thumb on the back of your shoulder, we're going to do some more of those rocks. Bringing that energy up, loosening up your shoulders. You can roll them back, find a nice low away from your neck spot to keep your shoulders, and just rock it out. With every turn, breathe inhale, exhale. Okay, I'll do some shoulder rolls one way and the other way. Lift one to your ear and drop it. The other to your ear and drop it. Do that a couple more times. Hope you guys can see my face right now. I'm laughing, having a little fun. Alright. Another one that's really good for this chakra would be neck rolls. So you guys know what this is all about. Just keep your posture up. Roll your neck. Breathe in as you come forward, exhale as you come back. And with all things yoga, what we do on one side, we want to do on the other. So reverse out when you're ready and get the other side. You want to remember to do this practice if you're spending lots of time driving or on the computer. Really get into these shoulders and the neck. We carry so much, and this world is so busy, and we don't have to hold it all. We don't. None of us do. You know, that's why there's so many of us. That is why there are computers. You know, we don't work for them. They're here and helping us take the load off. So allow it. All about expression. We can't express ourselves when we feel held down, so allow it to free, get out. All that work we've been doing down here for creativity, this is when we get to let it out. All right, now let's get into our third eye chakra here. We can do this a couple of different ways. We can go down into child's pose and really rub on that third eye and things. However, let's stand up and keep moving that energy up. So that's really what we're here for today. It's just bring that Kundalini rising up. All right, so get your hands above your head like this, and I want you to come down and touch your toes. This is your arrow, okay? And your arrow is going to go east, and it's going to go west, and it's going to go east, and it's going to go west. and it's going to go north, and it's going to go south, and you're going to keep it going, just, you know, one foot to the other. You can imagine yourself going through the different directions. You can find yourself building up this, you know, new way of finding direction. You know? All right. Breathe in when you're up. Breathe out when you go down. It's when we clear out that we get the direction. You can't have direction if you're so full. You can't have that clarity if you're so full. You want clarity and direction? Get a little disoriented. Have fun with this. Oh yeah, stretch it out. This is such an inviting pose when we open up from the shoulders like that. Very inviting of good energy. So another thing we want to do here for the third eye is we want to remember to close these two eyes in order to open this one, okay? So let's do that for a minute. We'll close these eyes, bring our thumbs, our praying hands up to our third eye, roll our shoulders back, keep our two eyes closed, open up that third eye, and visualize. Know what's coming to your mind's eye right now. Is it a color? Is it just a clear open space? Is there something you see of yourself or of your future? Whatever it is, just keep breathing. Positive, negative. It's just a part of it. You don't have to identify. There's nothing else you need to do right now except for be here. Your eyes closed. Your prayer hands on your third eye, a smile on your face, and some mindful breathing. All right, now for the crown chakra and the aura chakra. Let's get them all in at once here just so we can keep on time. I hope you guys don't mind. If you want more of this, you can always reach out. All right, so for the aura, this is what we want to do. We want to bring our hands up. We want to open up to be able to gather those downloads from the collective conscious, you know, those moments that like an invention will pop into your head or some great idea that could make us rich, and the next thing you know, we don't act on it and it goes out into the ether and somebody else, you know, gets rich off of something that you thought of first because they acted on it. And you know what opens us up is that crown chakra. So when we're doing movements like this, we're opening up. You know, this is why the shower is such a great place to get downloads, because you're up and you're open and you're playing like this, and you know you're free, and you're everything you want to let go of is going down the drain. It's wonderful, you know. So this is a really powerful pose for this. And what we'll do is just really stimulate the energy up above our heads, and then we're going to bring it down, and on that 8th chakra we're going to just cleanse our aura. Invite in positivity. We want to cleanse our aura of negativity, and we want to really feel into that space that is ours, that space, and we want that space to be cleansed, and we want it to protect us, right? This is our bubble. You know, we can make it what we want. It's just our auric field. You know, some of you may feel a sensation, maybe a tingling. Some of you may feel a warmth, or maybe a breeze, or maybe you see something or feel something. It's all okay. You don't need to edit it. Just allow the energy to flow, because it knows what it's doing. You don't have to control it. It's all good. Sisters and brothers, it's all good. All right. I want to say thank you. Thank you for joining me here today. Thank you for sharing in this practice with me. I'm really looking forward to getting you more content like this. This is going to be a video that we put on our Sunday integration station show. So some of you may be seeing it a second time. Feel free to join in. All right. I love you all so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Massively resilient, adaptive organisms. So powerful, so important. Reality is not limited to the perception that we have traditionally used. Fungus. Some of them can feed you, some can kill you, some can heal you, some fungus. Some of them can feed you, some can kill you, some can heal you, some fungi. Lucid dreams. Stay there. Reside there. Lucid dreams. Stay there. 30% of the soil mass is fungal. Wow. 30% of the soil mass is fungal. Wow. Massively resilient, adaptive organisms. So powerful, so important. But now we're at a junction and we're ready for the next quantum leap in human consciousness. Fungus. Some of them can feed you, some can kill you, some can heal you, some fungus. Some of them can feed you, some can kill you, some can heal you, some fungi. Lucid dreams. Stay there. Reside there. Lucid dreams. Stay there. 30% of the soil mass is fungal. Wow. 30% of the soil mass is fungal. Wow. We are fungus. We are fungi. We are fungus. We are.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
The opinions of the individuals during this broadcast are their own, and may not be the opinions of their group or other organizations they may be involved with. All medical advice during our broadcast is not a medical opinion and should be checked with your medical physician.
When you have a pain that's reached its peak, Legacy for 20, it's so unique. If organic cannabis is what you seek, here's your trusted partner 7 days a week. Suppository salves, vapes and drops, topicals, edibles, infused pop. Just when life seems like it ain't easy, at Legacy 420, enjoy a pop freezy. Lab tested products, make them the GOAT. Legacy 420 out on your road. Legacy 420 in Tyndonega Mohawk territory. Indigenous organic cannabis at its finest.
What do you find at paceradio.net? People advocating cannabis education.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption